Namaste, everyone. Katie here with a slow flow and yin practice for you, focusing on the hips and on the piriformis. For those of you who are not familiar with yin, yin is a cooling and slow yoga practice where we hold the poses for 1 to 5 minutes. This evening, we're only going to be holding poses for 2 to 3 minutes or so. But yin is particularly good for areas in the body that are stubborn or chronically tight, or even areas that are so tight that they're bringing us pain, such as the hips. So I think that you'll find that yin can be really great for opening up the hips and for relieving pain in the hips, as well as the piriformis, which is the other part of the body that we're going to be focusing on tonight. The piriformis is a small muscle surrounding your sacrum. And if it is too tight, it can cause problems such as sciatic nerve pain. It can also cause pain in the lower back. So we definitely want to do what we can to keep our piriformis happy, which is what this class is focusing on tonight. We're only going to need a couple of props. We will need a cushion or bolster and a strap. 2 blocks are always optional as well. And as always, if you need to modify your practice in any way or come out of a pose early, please do whatever you need to do to be comfortable in your practice. When you're ready, come down to your mat. We're going to begin tonight in wide-legged child's pose. So we'll take our knees wide towards the edges of the mat. Bring the toes together and then sink the hips down. Reach the hands out in front. Relax the forehead down. And feel free to use the block underneath your forehead if it doesn't quite touch down to the mat. And begin by taking some slow, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And mentally, you can begin to let go of the day that you've had or the week that you've had. And let your focus be on your breath and be on your mat and be in your body. Allow yourself to have this next hour and be completely focused on your practice and on your own self-care and self-love. And with your next breath in, feel free to set an intention that would serve your practice tonight. And after you set your intention, you can begin to roll your head back and forth, massaging the forehead. And then slowly bring your forehead down back to stillness, taking in a breath and then lifting up your head. We're going to pull our bodies forward and come up to all fours, tabletop position. Stacking shoulders over wrists, making sure our fingers are spread open. And then taking an inhale to bring the heart forward, drop the belly, and lift the gaze. And taking a breath out to push the floor away, round the back, tuck the chin and the tailbone. And continue with this flow, inhaling forward and up. And exhale, pressing back. Take a few more rounds of your cat and cow. And then inhale, bring your back to neutral. And then exhale, sink your hips back. We're going to come down into a seat. And we're going to bring the left knee in front and then take the right knee, cross it over the left, stacking the knees on top of each other. And if this is inaccessible to you or uncomfortable for you, you can take a different pose, taking the calves on top of each other, like so. So whichever is more comfortable for you, we will be stacking our calves for a different pose later on. So for now, find a comfortable pose for your hips, and then we're going to take an inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, take the left elbow on top of the right, finding Garudasana arms, lifting up your fingers, taking a few deep breaths. Take another deep breath in. And as you release, you can bring your arms down. And then you can extend your left leg in front. You can plant your right foot down so that the foot is crossed over the left thigh. And take an inhale, lengthen up the back. And then with the exhale, bring the right hand behind you. Bring the left elbow on the outside of the right knee. You can twist. An option to look behind you. Inhale to untwist, come forward, and then we will take our calves and stack them and flex both of our feet. The right calf is going to come over the left. Breathing in again to lengthen up the back. And then exhaling to fold down any amount that's comfortable for you. Relaxing your head. With your next breath in, begin to lift your head up. Bring your torso up and then lift your arms up over your head. And exhale, draw your hands down to your heart. Taking in another breath. And with your exhale, you can twist over to the left. You can stay lifted here, or you can come down and see if you can bring your right elbow onto your right foot and then twist. Maybe look up towards the ceiling here. Very good. Slowly come up and forward. And then we're going to switch and do the opposite side. So we'll take the right knee in front and underneath the left knee. Take a moment here to stack the knees and adjust however you need to. And then we'll inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, right elbow comes over left this time, fingers lift. Breathe out, release your hands down, and then you can extend your right leg out in front, plant the left foot down, and then lengthen the spine. And then reach behind with your left hand to plant it on the mat or on a block, and then you can twist for Ardha Matsyendrasana. Very good. Come forward, and then you may stack your calves. Left calf over right this time, lengthening the spine once more, and then breathing out to find a forward fold. If you are someone who deals with a tight piriformis or tight hips, tight lower back, this pose is amazing for all of those things, particularly if your piriformis is tight. I like this pose a little bit better than pigeon. Pigeon's a bit more intense than this pose, but they still accomplish the same thing in regards to the piriformis. Let's take a few more breaths here. Deep and long breaths in and out through the nose. You may slowly come up and sweep your arms up. And exhale, draw your hands down to your heart space. And breathing in. Exhaling to twist to the right, staying lifted or coming down. Bringing the elbow onto the foot and looking up. Beautiful job. Inhale, come up. You may unstack your calves, bring your legs to the side, and then come back to all fours. And then walk your hands forward just a bit to prepare for downward dog. Tucking your toes and then using the exhale to press up and back. Feel free to move in your downward dog, lifting and lowering your heels. We're stretching out the backs of the legs, bringing down one heel and then the other, bending the knees. We started with a pretty slow and cooling sort of yin practice at the beginning. We're going to be moving into our slow flow portion of the class, and then we will be finishing with some yin practices. Let's come to stillness in our downward facing dog and take 3 breaths. Lift your heels up, come onto your toes and bend your knees. And then step all the way up to the front of your mat. Bring your feet hip distance apart. Breathing in, hands on your shins, halfway lift up your body. And then exhale, let your knees softly bend and let your torso come down and hang for a forward fold. And inhale, moving very slowly, rolling all the way up, coming to a standing pose, and then lifting the arms up with an inhale. Good, exhale, hands down to your heart. Breathing in, lifting up the arms again. And then lifting the heart up, coming into a baby back bend. Beautiful. With your exhale, bring your chest forward and then come all the way back down to forward fold. Bring your hands in front of your toes, and then inhale, lifting up onto your fingers, partially straightening your back. And then exhale, plant your hands down, step back through plank pose. Nice strong plank, and then with your exhale, you can come to your belly. Feel free to drop your knees first or come down in one straight line. The hands are going to come back and inch towards the ribs. And then breathe in, lift up for cobra. Good. Exhale, come back down to your mat. And inhale, press up through plank. Exhale, back to downward dog. Taking a few more mindful breaths here in your downward facing dog. With your inhale, come up onto your toes, bend your knees, and then begin to step up to the front of your mat. Inhale to half lift. And exhale, down forward fold. Inhale, slowly rolling up. Sweeping the arms up above the head and then finding your baby back bend, lifting your heart, tucking in your lower belly, reaching back. Slowly come forward and exhale. Come back to forward fold. Bring your hands in front of your toes. Inhale up to your fingertips. And then exhale, bend the knees so the hands can plant down. And then step back with just your left foot. Coming into a lunge. Right knee's going to stay over the ankle in front. We're going to plant the left heel down. Turn the toes at an angle to the left. And then inhale, lift up, finding Virabhadrasana. One, arms up. Extending the thumb and the index finger over the head. Pulling that left hip forward. Pressing down the knife edge of the left foot. Beautiful. Exhale. We're going to bring the hands all the way down to frame the right foot. And then we're going to spin the back toes forward. Place a bend in the left knee. Step the left foot up to meet the right. We're going to inhale, halfway lift again. And exhale, down forward fold. Bringing your hands to grab onto opposite elbows. Let your whole upper body become heavy and hang. And feel free to find a gentle sway back and forth. Bring yourself to stillness. You may release your elbows. Hands come in front of the feet. Inhale up to the tips of the fingers. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back with the right foot. Coming into a lunge. Planting the right heel down to prepare for warrior one. And then inhale, lift up your body. Finding that same mudra above the head with the index finger and the thumb extended. Finding that tucking in of your lower belly. And that extension of your spine. Very good. Take another breath in here. And exhale, hands come down to frame the left foot. Spin the right toes forward. Step up to the front. And then inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Hands come in front. Scoot your feet back. Plant your hands and step to plank pose. Make your way to your belly. And inhale, up cobra. And exhale, come all the way down. Inhaling up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. With your next exhale, slowly lower your knees down. Come down to a kneeling seat. Lift your arms up above your head. And exhale, hands down to your heart. Finding a slight tuck of your chin here. And a nice straight back. If you have a cushion with you, you can bring your cushion at the front of your mat. We have done our slow flow part of the class. We're going to be getting into some yin now. So once your cushion is in place, you can come back to your downward facing dog. And we're going to step the right foot forward towards the hands. And then we're going to skip the right foot over towards the left wrist. And then the right knee is going to come down towards the right wrist. So your right shin should be parallel with the front of your mat. And go ahead and flex your right foot here. If you are having some tightness in your hips today and you want some more stretch for your piriformis, you can take your left toes, tuck them underneath, and then walk your left knee back. You're going to feel a little bit more of a pull in that right hip. And if that feels okay, then you can go ahead and come down to your cushion or come down to your mat, however much is comfortable for you. In yin, we don't force poses. We meet our bodies wherever they are at. So if your body is saying, don't lower down, then stay lifted up onto your hands. If your body's not having this pose at all today, then you can come onto your back, figure for your legs, and then do reclining pigeon on your back. But wherever you are at, find a place where you can be comfortable for the next few minutes. And then begin to focus your awareness on your breath. Sending that breath into your hips. Slowly begin to lift yourself up. Coming back up onto your hands. If you're on your back, you can release your right leg. And if we were in sleeping pigeon, we're going to tuck our left toes under, scoot the left leg forward a bit to give our right leg some space. We're going to slide the shin back and then press back to downward facing dog. And you can move however you need to in your downward dog to compensate for that pigeon pose. Very good. When you are ready, you can step the left foot forward, setting up the same way, scooting the left foot over towards the right wrist, the left knee towards the left wrist, and option to tuck the right toes under and then scoot the right leg back if you're looking for a little more depth in this pose. This side may be a little bit different. You may feel like you need to stay lifted on this side or not lower down as far as the right side. And that is absolutely okay. Find a comfortable place to be for the next few moments. Coming back to the breath. Coming back to focusing on this pose and staying present with our practice. If at any point you feel like your body is inviting you to lower down further and go deeper, then feel free to adjust and find that other place of stillness. Take a couple more breaths on this side. And then slowly begin to press your body out. Tucking the right toes, right leg scoots forward. You can take your time. When you're ready, slide your left leg back and come to our last downward facing dog of the evening. With your exhale, you can lower your knees down. And we're going to be moving into our next yin pose, which is frog pose. So if you actually have a blanket, that would be really good for this pose. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. But if you have a blanket with you, then you can unfold it so that it is wide on both sides. And then we can come to hands and knees, patting the knees with the blanket. We are going to keep our cushion with us as well. And bring that forward so that it's underneath our torsos. And then we're going to begin to walk the knees out, scooting them out and making them wider. And then we're going to flex our feet as well. And then we're going to slowly play with bending the elbows and bringing the torso down onto that supportive cushion. With frog legs. And feel free to take a little bit more time adjusting however you need to. This is an intense pose, so feel free to make yourself comfortable in whatever ways you need to feel supported in this pose. And as you are here in frog pose, notice if there's any places in your body that are holding on to tension. Sometimes when we're in an intense pose, we can clench our body and clench our muscles because we are experiencing a challenging pose. But what that does is it prevents our muscles from opening and from relaxing. And basically prevent us from finding some deep relief and benefits of certain poses. So see if you can find any places in your body that are tight or holding on to that tension, and then invite in some softness. Invite in some fluidity. Use your exhales to release any tension and find some stillness and fluidness with your breath. With your next inhale, you're going to bring our hands underneath the shoulders and then begin to press our chest up and then bring the knees closer together. You may move your cushion off to the side and your blanket off to the side. Then we're going to bring our legs in front, keeping the strap handy. The feet are going to plant down, and then you may make your way all the way down onto your back. Once you're on your back, you may take your strap and unroll it. You can take the loop of the strap, or you can make a loop with your strap. And then lift the left foot up, bringing it in the loop of the strap. And then we're going to extend our right leg out. It's okay if the left knee is a little bit bent. We're going to bring our left arm out to the side just a little bit for some support. And then with your exhale, we're going to slowly begin to bring the left leg over to the right, moving it across the body. It's okay if that foot doesn't come all the way down. You can use a block or a cushion underneath your foot if you'd like more of a supportive pose here. Take a couple deep breaths. With your next inhale, place some bend in your left knee, and then you can slowly lift the leg back up. Grabbing the strap, pulling the foot a little bit closer to you. Taking a couple breaths here. And then releasing the left leg down. You can remove the strap. Put the left foot down and stay where you are. I'm going to turn around so that I can have some space for the other side. We're going to bring our right foot up, wrapping the strap around it, planting that right shoulder down, that right arm down. And then extend the left leg using the exhale. Right foot moves across the body. In your next inhale, you can bend your right knee, can lift your right leg back up, pull the foot in towards the body, maybe a centimeter more. Take a couple breaths. And then bend your right knee, you can take the strap off. Then grab onto your cushion, bring it close, plant your feet next to your hips, and then scoop your hips up, bring your cushion underneath your pelvis for supported bridge pose. And feel free to find a different arm variation. If you'd like to take your arms into a T for a chest stretch, you may. If you'd like to take a hand on your heart and a hand on your belly, you may. Or feel free to keep the hands and the arms by your sides. Begin to slow and deepen your breath. Breathing down into your belly. Feeling your body sink down a little bit closer into your cushion and into your mat. Feeling the body relax. You now slowly lift your hips up, move your cushion off to the side. And then move the knees back and forth. And when you are ready, you can bring your knees to stillness and then bring them in towards the chest, grabbing onto the outer edges of the feet, finding happy baby. Slowly release your feet and make yourself comfortable for Shavasana. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Audible sigh through your mouth. Feel your whole body relax and let go. And as your body rests, allow your mind to softly focus on each of your inhales and each of your exhales. Inhale slowly and deeply. Pausing for a moment and then exhale, release. Taking in another deep breath. letting it go, and finding small movements in the toes and in the fingers. Eventually planting the feet down on the mat, making your way onto your side. Gently press yourself up, finding a comfortable seat. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Remember your intention that you set for your practice. Send your gratitude towards your intention and feel free to carry it with you for as long as it serves you. And send your gratitude towards yourself for giving yourself love and care today through the practice of yoga. Thank you all so much for joining me this evening. I hope that you have a beautiful night, and I will see you all on Thursday. Sat Nam.